Now we're going to talk a little bit about preparing Flextrodes for use. When you receive them in the kit, you'll receive a completely assembled Flextrode with its retaining ring in the plastic container. The first thing you should do is remove the retaining ring from the Flextrode and take these assemblies here and put them aside. I'm going to soak mine in the liquid for a few minutes, but we'll review that later. This is the headband. The headband is recognized because it's a longer piece. It has 3 holes cut in the center here. And it also has a special end with a reverse piece that allows us to put this together like so. And now we have a complete piece. This is the headband that will be placed over the forehead and along the back of the head of the trainee. In addition, we have the cross strip, which is another piece. It's shorter. It has 5 holes in the center. And what I've done is I've placed 2 of the rings in the cross strip, and I'm going to put the 3rd one in right now. And all you do is slide it in and pull it tight. So now the cross strip has 3 retaining rings. We're going to use this Flextrode assembly to place 3 scalp electrodes on Terry here without using any paste. Now there's a simple procedure to follow when you want to do a placement like this. The first thing we want to do is place the headband in a manner that's snug yet comfortable. So let's put that under here. Is that okay? Bring this along the back, pull it tight, and secure it. So now it's tight, but not too tight, giving a secure attachment to the forehead and around the back of the head. Before we place the cross strip, we want to keep in mind we're going to need to prepare the scalp sites for recording. And we're going to do that as follows. We first identify the 3 locations we're going to use. Using the cross strip, we can get an approximate positioning for CZ, and we could use this for C3 or C4. I'm going to put them up a little closer here. And if we attach one side of the cross strip like this, pressing it to the Velcro, we see that this is going to give us a secure connection. And what we're going to do is to put the Flextrode connectors inside these holders. But first we need to prepare the scalp. So if I move this back a little bit, I'm able to separate the hair that will be under this portion of that retainer. And I'm going to take a little bit of new prep gel and prepare the scalp. The same as before, using the prepping gel, I identify the location where I'm going to record, push the hair aside, and then just clean it a little bit like that with electrode gel. Having done that, I can place the cross strip on again, and that holds the hair off to the side, making it easy to remember where I was and to see that clean location. I simply repeat this on the other side, pushing the hair aside, cleaning the location, and then press the cross strip down again. Now I have 2 cleaned locations, and I do a 3rd. Again, just lift this, push the hair aside, clean that location, and replace the cross strip. At this point now, you can visibly confirm that in each of the locations, you've got the hair pushed aside and that you've got the area of the scalp prepared. One thing you can do is take a Q-tip, for example, and reach in there and do a little extra preparation. The end result being that you have 3 scalp locations where the hair's pushed aside and where the scalp has been prepped for the contact. Now that we have the scalp prepared, let's look at a Flextrode in more detail. As it came out of the package, we had the retaining ring and the screw connector together. So I'll put this retaining ring aside. If we push the internal part out of the screw connector and unwrap it, what we see is there's a roll of felt approximately 3 inches long, which has been wrapped around a conventional gold disc electrode. Now this felt is something that you can replace with any cotton batten felt from a fabric store or a heavy-duty towel of some type. They're easy to find and they work quite well. It's important to keep in mind that if this is reused, it should only be used on one subject. If you have a variety of trainees, you should be using a disposable insert and cleaning the supplies with a antibacterial cleaner. So one thing we could do, for example, is to wet this before use. If we take the electro mist, which comes with a spray, we find that we can spray this felt and wet it with the solution, making it conductive. We will then wrap it again as it was before, making sure that there's plenty of felt protruding along the bottom here to make contact. We then push this into the retainer like so, and we now have the Flextrode with the felt wick, the cotton wick protruding. The electrode is inside, the electrode lead sticks out the top, and this is ready for use. Now what we typically do is store them in the plastic cup which is provided with a little bit of the solution in it, and this keeps them wet. This Flextrode, for example, is well saturated, very wet with solution. And all we need to do then is to pick the appropriate site, insert it in the hole, and give it just about 1 or 2 turns until the trainee feels the wetness against the scalp. You feel that? If you feel wetness against the scalp, then the connection is made. Make sure that it's physically secure, and that's all there is to making one connection. As time goes by, if this dries out a little bit, you can use the solution in the bottle that we provide just by pouring it from this container into this and using it to wet, just like this, through the hole in the top so that the additional wetting is used to keep the conductance high. We can simply follow just like this for the others, inserting this one and the last. And we now have 3 connections to the scalp without the use of paste. We now have 3 scalp electrodes that we're happy with, and to complete the montage, all we need is a pair of ear clips. We've prepared the ears in the typical way, so we'll clip on a clip on the left and a clip on the right, just like that. And now we have 5 leads, which are useful for 2-channel training. I'll take the ear clips, plug them into the references, and then we'll take the left Flextrode and plug that into the left channel. We'll take the right Flextrode, plug that into the right channel, leaving CZ as the ground. And there we have a complete 2-channel connection using 2 ear clips and 3 Flextrodes. We can record and run the session with these. After the session is complete, it's easy to remove these. We simply remove the cross strip, and it takes these Flextrodes away. You can see the surface that was wet and contacting the scalp, providing the electrical connection. We can set these aside right now. We remove the ear clips. And looking at the hair, once we push it back, we can see all it was a little bit of wetness, but we're right back to normal without a lot of paste to worry about. There you go.